Dr. Glidden back with you for another edition of Fire Your MD Now. My position is relatively clear, ladies and gentlemen. After 23 years of clinical work, practicing naturopathic medicine, holistic medicine, licensed naturopathic medicine, front lines of medical care as a private practicing naturopathic physician for 23 years, as God is my witness, the single best thing that you can do in order to help your system recover its health is stop going to MDs. MDs do not own medicine. MDs are trained in one subset of medical science, but they have sold it to you as the only type of medicine that there is. The type of medicine that they're trained in is referred to as allopathic reductionism. I practice naturopathic medicine, right? There's chiropractic medicine, homeopathic medicine, osteopathic medicine. Well, the type of medicine that MDs are trained in is called allopathic medicine, but I bet you that this is the first time you've even heard that term. MDs have tried to convince you and everybody else in this country that they own medicine. Quite frankly, it should be against the law for MDs to call themselves medical doctors, because they're not. They're allopathic doctors. They're reductionistic doctors. They are pharmaceutical doctors. They are drug doctors. And, you know, we've got to call a spade a spade. You're certainly not going to refer to a chiropractor as an MD. That would be misleading. Well, referring to an MD as an MD is also misleading because they don't own medicine. MDs are trained in drug delivery medicine, period. Drugs and surgery, and then we top it off with a little icing of drugs and surgery. Now, it may interest you to know that as a naturopathic physician, I can prescribe drugs and perform minor surgery. How about that? There's nothing wrong with a drug. Drugs are like guns, right? It's how they're used. However, when MDs use drugs, they hurt you. MD-directed pharmaceutical medicine is the leading cause of death in the United States. It is the leading cause of death in the United States. While MDs have been driving the bus of medicine, we've lost the war on heart disease, we've lost the war on cancer. Asthma is skyrocketing, high blood pressure is skyrocketing, Alzheimer's is skyrocketing, type 2 diabetes, which we're going to talk about right now, is skyrocketing. Why is this? Or all of a sudden have we developed bad genes? No. And quite frankly, whenever a medical professional tells you that your condition is genetic, that's code for I have no idea what's causing your problem, but I don't want to look stupid. If a medical doctor, any type of medical professional, tells you that your condition is genetic, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a deep breath, take a pause for a count of 2. Stare that person right in the eye and say, really, which gene is it, doctor? My type 2 diabetes is genetic. Which gene is it? We decoded the entire human genome 7 years ago. Which gene is it, doctor? Please, I'd like to know. After all, I'm paying you $700 an hour. Please tell me which gene is it. And by the way, if all of these chronic illnesses, which are supposed to be genetic, were in fact genetic, that goes against the law of natural selection. Because natural selection argues that the bad genes are supposed to be eliminated. So as more and more time goes by, the population is supposed to become healthier and healthier. But in the United States, as more and more time goes by, we're getting sicker and sicker. Heart disease has remained unchanged over the last 100 years. Just as many people are getting heart disease now as they ever have, and we've lost the war on cancer. Type 2 diabetes, approximately 25.8 million people in the United States have it. That's 8% of the population, more or less, 8.3% of the population. It costs us $174 billion a year, and this is one of my pet peeves. Whenever you read these statistics online or on the ABC Evening News, oh, the incredible cost of health care, type 2 diabetes costs are costing the American citizen $174 billion a year, and everybody gasps, oh my God. Well, it's not. That's what it's costing you and me. But the other side of that coin is the medical industry in the United States is profiting $174 billion on the backs of your suffering. And in 100 years of research, they have done nothing to make it go away. They have done nothing. They're not even close to a cure. Not even close. And you take it. You sit down and you take it because you don't know anything else. Yeah, I mean, we have been so culturally conditioned to genuflect at the altar of allopathic, MD-directed medicine without question. The doctors can consistently deliver piss-poor performance, and we take it. Oh, my doctor, he's the greatest doctor. He charges $800 an hour. No, he hasn't been able to help my diabetes. As a matter of fact, he had to cut both my feet off. He's a really great guy, though. You know, it was Marcus Welby, I think, and, you know, decades of MASH and Grey's Anatomy and all of these ridiculous television shows that have enculturated us to believe that the MD stands for medical deity. Well, guess what? It doesn't. MDs shouldn't even be called MDs. They should be called DDs, for drug doctors. As a matter of fact, I want everybody listening to this radio show to start calling their MDs drug doctors. And, you know, when you put it in that context, it makes a lot more sense. Well, my drug doctor told me that I was going to have to take metformin for my diabetes or insulin for my type 2 diabetes for the rest of my life. Well, of course he did, because he's a drug doctor. You wouldn't expect your plumber to tell you how to be able to fix your automobile, and you wouldn't expect your plumber to be able to tell you anything other than, you know, about pipes and plumbing, because that's their thing. Well, your MD is completely unable to tell you anything but drugs and surgery. That's it. Snap out of it. Drugs and surgery will save your life if you're bleeding to death, if you've had your leg blown off in Iraq, if you're in an automobile accident, you break your leg, have a third-degree burn, or have some nasty infection. That's what they're good for. For everything else, they stink. And because MDs own medicine in the United States, we're losing our middle class because businesses can't afford to pay for a living wage and healthcare costs. Why? Because healthcare costs are ridiculously, stupidly expensive. Why? Because the treatments delivered by MDs don't work. They are pathetic. They do not work. Going to an MD with a chronic health condition is a fool's errand. In 1954, an MD named Walter Merz, M-E-R-Z, proved in mice that type 2 diabetes could be generated at will in mice by eliminating the mineral chromium from the mouse's diet. Chromium. Peculiar mineral. Minerals are things found in the soil like calcium. Now, plants can't make minerals. Animals can't make minerals. Minerals are only found in the soil. Calcium and chromium and vanadium and silica and sulfur and iron and phosphorus. These are minerals that the body needs to maintain its health, and they're only found in the soil. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, over 90% of the soil in the United States is deficient in chromium, which means you're deficient in chromium, which means I'm deficient in chromium. And type 2 diabetes, from our perspective, is a mineral deficiency disease. It is not genetic. It has nothing to do with genes, it has nothing to do with aging, and it has nothing to do with a voodoo curse. If you've developed type 2 diabetes, it's simply because your body has run out of the nutrients it needs to maintain and optimize your blood sugar. If your car runs out of oil, the engine seizes. If your car runs out of gas, it stops moving. If the tires run out of air, they start going round and round and round. Well, guess what? If your body runs out of vitamin C like Charlie, you get scurvy. If it runs out of vitamin D like David, you get rickets. And if it runs out of about 27 essential minerals, you get type 2 diabetes. And Yet, irony of ironies, we could have thousands of people definitively diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, follow our nutritional support program for healthy blood sugar, and the type 2 diabetes magically disappears, and we can't say we can cure it because according to the FDA, the only thing that can cure anything is drugs. We are victims of a medical monopoly in the United States, and it is killing us. If you want to grab your health back, fire your MD. Go to fireyourmdnow.com or call me up at 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. Leave me a message. Tell me what your health concern is. I will get back to you with a medical nutrition health recovery protocol. We have health recovery protocols for healthy blood sugar. It's easy. It costs about $135 a month, about $135 a month to support and promote healthy blood sugars. You don't know what you're missing, ladies and gentlemen. Go to firemymdnow.com. Call me up, 855-347-3696. That's 24 hours a day. You can call that number. Leave a message, and somebody on my staff will get back to you directly, because we are building an army, a grassroots coalition of the informed to help raise people up into health, because the MDs are killing us. We are dropping like flies in this country because we've bet on the wrong horse. We've taken the wrong dog out for the hunt. We didn't even know there was another dog in the hunt. The MDs have gone out of their way to tell you that I'm a quack. The MDs have gone out of their way to tell you that the chiropractors and the herbalists and the nutritionists and the naturopaths and the homeopaths are quacks. Meanwhile, they are the ones that are producing, prescribing, administering expensive, ineffective, dangerous medicines. The only people practicing quack medicine in the United States have MD after their name. Give us a call, ladies and gentlemen. You want to talk to me live on this show? 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, reminding you to fire your MD now. And we're back. This is Dr. Peter Glidden with Fire Your MD Now. If you'd like to talk to me live on this radio program, give us a call. 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. And by the way, that's a toll-free call. Now, a little bit more about type 2 diabetes. Here's the way that your body processes sugar in a healthy situation. You eat something that has sugar in it, and by the way, sugar is your friend. There's no such thing as bad sugar. I don't care if it's sucrose, I don't care if it's fructose, I don't care if it's glucose. Sugar is the gasoline that your body needs. All of the trillions of your cells in your body need sugar to function. If they didn't have sugar, you would keel over and die. So you eat something that's got sugar in it, your body extracts the sugar, and now there's sugar in your blood. When there's sugar in your blood, your pancreas makes a molecule called insulin. Insulin floats through the blood and sticks to the walls of all of the trillions of your cells. And when the insulin sticks to the cell wall, it's like you going to somebody's house and ringing the front doorbell, and then the kitchen door opens up. You ring the front doorbell, the kitchen door opens up and lets in the groceries. Well, when the insulin sticks to the cell wall, it rings the doorbell. It sends a message through the interior of the cell to open up a gate on the cell wall to let the sugar in, and that's how your body metabolizes sugar. Pretty smart. You need insulin to ring the bell. But in order for that signal to go through the middle of the cell and actually open the door, there are about 27 minerals that your body needs to have inside the cell. Peculiar sounding minerals, things like vanadium and chromium and erythrium and urbinium and hafnium and all these rare earth minerals. These need to be present inside the cell in order for that message to be transported through the cell and that door to open up. This is how Dr. Merz was able to turn on and turn off type 2 diabetes in mice, because he would simply give them enough chromium and the message could go through, or he'd remove chromium and the message would be delayed. It's like snipping the wires with the doorbell on somebody's house. So what happens if you run out of the minerals? What happens if your body becomes minerally deficient? Well, you eat something that has sugar in it. Sugar piles up in your blood. Your body creates insulin. Insulin rings the doorbell, but the kitchen door stays closed. So insulin, your sugar piles up in the blood. Your body makes more insulin. Insulin rings the front doorbell. The kitchen door stays closed. Well, if sugar piles up in the bloodstream, your body creates more insulin, and insulin rings the doorbell, the door stays closed. The average type 2 diabetic who's experiencing this particular aspect of type 2 diabetes, called insulin resistance syndrome, has hundreds of times the amount of insulin in their blood that a normal person does. Eventually, the amount of insulin builds up to such a large extent that by sheer volumetric pressure, the insulin crashes the kitchen door open. It kicks the kitchen door open, kicks it open. A little bit of sugar trickles in. Now, this is not a good thing, because when insulin kicks the door open, the door gets damaged, and this is why diabetics lose their eyesight. They lose their fingers, lose their toes, lose their feet, lose their hands, get diabetic neuropathy. Because for years, every time they eat sugar, the cells of their body are being destroyed by insulin. And what does an MD give a type 2 diabetic? Insulin! And I'm the quack. It's unbelievable to me the amount of narrow-minded, juvenile, academic thought that's gone into the way that medicine is practiced. Medical doctors do not practice medicine. They practice pharmaceutical medicine, period. There's a great deal of difference between medicine and pharmaceutical medicine. And they're killing us, ladies and gentlemen. So we're suffering, from another myth here in the United States that healing is some complicated process. It's not. It's easy. You're suffering from type 2 diabetes. You're suffering from insulin resistance syndrome. You're suffering from something called syndrome X, or metabolic syndrome. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you're wide awake, if you get really sleepy after you eat a meal or something that's high in sugar, you've got it. You're on the road to type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance or syndrome X, which are all the same name for different things, different names for the same thing. We've made it easy. In order to support and promote healthy blood sugar, go to fireyourmdnow.com and order one healthy blood sugar pack. One healthy blood sugar pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And follow the good food, bad food diet. There's a handful of foods I don't want anyone to look at, let alone eat. If you clean your diet up and give your body the minerals and the vitamins and the essential fatty acid that it needs, you are going to love the way that you feel. You do not know what you're missing. Ladies and gentlemen, give us a call. I'd love to talk to you. 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here. I am your MD's worst nightmare. I'm a licensed naturopathic physician with 2 decades of clinical experience and an attitude. If you sat behind my desk for 20 years, ladies and gentlemen, and saw the massive amount of human suffering that I have seen, if you weren't angry, you're not paying attention. Medicine has become monopolized here in the United States for the last 100 years, but because it's been going on for 100 years, most of us are completely unaware of it. Most of us just think that the reason that the MD is driving the bus, the reason that the only medicine that's allowed to be practiced in our state is MD medicine, the reason that the only medicine that's covered by your insurance policy is MD medicine, and the only medicine that's practiced in the hospitals in your town is MD medicine, right? We think that the reason that this is because, well, what the MDs do must be better than what everybody else does, right? That's a reasonable conclusion to draw, but it's not so. In the late 1800s and the early 1900s, there was a relatively level playing field here in the United States with medicine. We had the chiropractors, the herbalists, the naturopaths, the chiropractors, the osteopaths, and the MDs. And nobody really had the upper hand. It was more or less, an even playing field. And then in the early 1900s, the Rockefeller Foundation and the Carnegie Institute, it was the Carnegie Institute that funded a gentleman named Abraham Flexner. And they sent Flexner all around the country. Now, this was way before the Internet. This was way before even the interstate highway system. It took Flexner 5 years. He went all around the country on train, stagecoach, and horseback, and, automobiles inside the city limits. It took him 5 years. And Flexner visited all of the medical schools and all of the hospitals in the United States which practiced MD-directed drug medicine. Because the Carnegies owned drug companies. And, they wanted to find out the medical schools that were using their stuff so they could sell them more of their stuff. And Flexner brought his report back. It's infamously referred to as the Flexner Report. And it completely changed the face of medicine. Because with that list in their hands, the Carnegies, who were quickly followed in suit by the Rockefeller Foundation, gave millions of dollars of free money to the medical schools and hospitals that practiced drug medicine. Now, look, this is common sense. If you're starting a business and I'm starting a business and you get $1 million of free money and I don't, who's going to have the more successful business? Well, you are. So after the Flexner Report in 1910, more or less, the competition, the playing field for the way that medicine was practiced in the United States dramatically changed, and the MDs got the upper hand. They also glad-handed legislators to pass laws which made the practice of medicine illegal unless you were an MD. How convenient. This is like passing a law that says, well, the only people in California that can sell hamburgers are McDonald's. Nobody else can sell a hamburger in McDonald's. It's just not right. We do not have a free medical market in the United States. You want me to prove it? As a licensed naturopathic physician in the state of Washington, I can deliver babies, perform minor surgery, prescribe drugs, order any diagnostic test I want, legally refer to myself as a physician, and it's all covered by insurance. If I was to do exactly the same thing in Chicago that I did in Seattle, Washington, I'd be thrown in jail for a year and fined $5,000 for practicing medicine without a license, and that's just not right. You assume that the MD is in the driver's seat of medicine because their therapeutics, their approach, their methodology must be better than everybody else's, but it's not. As a matter of fact, their therapeutics are worse than everybody else's. While the MDs have been driving the bus, they're so bad that MD-directed medical care is the leading cause of death in the United States. Approximately 780,000 people a year are killed by MD treatments. Killed by the treatment. This means you're sick. You go to the MD, he gives you treatment, and it kills you. You know how many people died from vitamins last year? 0. 0. And people tell me all the time, oh, Dr. Glidden, I'm skeptic. I'm a skeptic about those vitamins. Oh, you're just selling vitamins, Dr. Glidden. You just want me to take those vitamins. Oh, those vitamins are going to hurt me. Well, you're not skeptic. You're not skeptical. If you were skeptical, you never would have taken the prescription medicine in the first place because, number one, the prescription medicine doesn't cure what you've got. Number two, it produces side effects. Number three, you have to pay through the nose for it. And number four, after a couple of years of taking it, they're going to switch it to the next more expensive designer drug. And you're skeptical about taking vitamins? You've got to be kidding me. If you were truly skeptical, you would have asked the hardball questions that you're asking me to your MD. What about the side effects? How does this work? What's the biochemistry of this? Has it been tested on people? There are over 50 class action lawsuits right now against drugs that the FDA approved for your use. Because the FDA and the pharmaceutical companies and the medical schools and the research journals are all in bed together. It is a corrupted system from soup to nuts. Now, you know, your MD might be the world's nicest person. They might give their time to charity. They might work for Doctors Without Borders. They might treat 1,000 people for free a year. He might be the greatest human being you've ever met. And as an MD, he is a member of a group of individuals who have gone out of their way to monopolize the medical theater in the United States. And their profession has the distinct distinction of being the leading cause of death. Now, you want to go and see him, it's a free country. Go right ahead. Take some more of those drugs. But if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you want to do something else, you've come to exactly the right place, because we are offering for free, no consultation charge, ladies and gentlemen, no insurance copay, no doctor's office visit charge, no nothing. We're going to tell you for free our methods of health recovery. We're going to tell you what we do to support and promote healthy lungs, support and promote healthy heart, support and promote healthy joints, support and promote healthy skin, support and promote healthy blood sugar. And as God is my witness, you don't know what you're missing. While the MDs have been driving the bus of medicine, life expectancy has flatlined. If you're a man in the United States, you're lucky if you make it into your late 70s, 78, 79. If you're a woman, you're lucky if you make it to 82. And the last 15 years aren't so pretty, are they? Our hair's falling out, our teeth are falling out, we need hearing aids, we need glasses, we've got 5 fused vertebrae, we've got 1 kidney, we've got no gallbladder, we've got no appendix, we've got no tonsils, we've got 5 fake knees. We need a prescription medicine to pee, a prescription medicine not to pee. Prescription medicine to fall asleep, a prescription medicine to wake up. Prescription medicine to poop, a prescription medicine not to poop. Prescription medicine for our eczema, prescription medicine for our high blood pressure, a prescription medicine for our anxiety and panic attacks, a prescription medicine for our pain. And if we're lucky enough to make it to 85 years of age, 75% of us will have Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's has skyrocketed in the last 30 years. It's risen from obscurity to the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. And on tomorrow's show, I'm going to tell you our take on Alzheimer's disease, and it is going to blow your mind. But my point is, while we've been genuflecting at the altar of MD-directed medicine, they have been consistently delivering unbelievably poor results. But we don't know there's anything different to do. We don't know that there are, in fact, licensed physicians who don't use drugs and surgery, and that there are, in fact, science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery, and there are. And that's why we do this show. We're offering these therapeutics to you because we're suffering from another false notion here in the United States, the ridiculous notion that healing is a complicated process. It's not. You have been brainwashed and hoodwinked into believing that in order to help your bodies heal from a chronic disease, you must go to a multi-million-dollar high-tech facility with all these machines and guys in white coats running around with stethoscopes. It's nonsense. Healing is as easy as falling off a potato truck. If you cut your hand, you don't have to tell the cells of your body how to fix that. You don't have to tell your immune system when to secrete fibrinogen and activate macrophage response time and helper T cell production. You don't even know what that is. You don't have to do that. You eat an apple, you don't have to tell your stomach how to digest it, or your gallbladder when to secrete bile, or your pancreas when to secrete pancreatic acid. It just happens. As a matter of fact, your body was so smart, it grew itself, all by itself, from a single-celled organism into the magnificent manifestation of you. Now, naturopathic doctors postulate, if your body could do that, well, I guess it probably pretty much, again, knows how to fix itself. And it does. In order to help yourself recover from type 2 diabetes, in order to help yourself recover from asthma and arthritis and congestive heart failure and cardiomyopathy and you name it, all you need to do is stimulate your body's built-in God-given ability to fix itself. You need to provide your body the stuff it needs to fix itself. Look, if you're building a house and you have the blueprints and the license and the permits, and you've got the carpenters, and you've got the lumber, and you've got the nail guns, but you don't have any nails, ain't nothing getting built that day. It's exactly the same with the body. In order for your body to maintain its optimal health, in order for your system to, number one, regain its health, and then number two, to maintain its health, it needs to have a full complement of raw materials every day. We refer to this full complement as the mighty 90. Your body has the need for 90 essential nutrients every day. You can't get it from your food. You cannot get the 90 essential nutrients from your food. You cannot do it. It's impossible. So it's only a matter of time until your body runs out of something, something breaks, so you get arthritis or type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure. You go to your drug doctor. He throws a drug at it because he or she wasn't trained in medical nutrition. MDs are like colorblind art critics. They can see that's a picture of a tree, but they're completely blind to the colors and the textures which make up the heart of the deal. And if they can't see it, they can't fix it. And they can't see it, and they can't fix it. And because of that, you're getting sick. Your brothers and sisters and family are getting sick. Our health is going you-know-where in a handbasket because we've taken the wrong dog for the hunt. Tune into this radio station every day, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about different aspects of your health from the holistic perspective every day, helping to drag you into the light of medical nutrition. Because when it comes to health, what you don't know will kill you or heal you. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Looking forward to talking to you on the other side of the break. Give us a call, 866-582-9933. We'll be back just as soon as we can. And we're back. Dr. Peter Glidden with Fire Your MD Now. Now, folks, we are the full package. We are busting medical myths left, right, and center. Two myths we're suffering from. Number one, the MD is the undisputed king of medicine. Everybody else is a back-of-the-bus quack. It's hogwash. Myth number two, healing is complicated. It's not. It's easy. Many people in this country currently are also suffering from a vitamin M deficiency, money deficiency. Everybody needs more money, and it's a need, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we have figured it out for you. My colleague, Dr. Wallach, founded a company that I'm a happy distributor for. It's called FDI Longevity. And FDI Longevity exists for two reasons. We are attempting to change the way that medicine is practiced in the United States by generating a grassroots coalition of the informed. We will show you for free Dr. Wallach's health recovery methods. These methods were generated after $25 million of federally funded research and 30 years of clinical experience by one of the most lauded naturopathic physicians in the world. Our therapeutics rock. Way better than anything I've been exposed to, and I've seen everything. I've been doing this for 23 years. So there's two ways you can work with us. You can call us up, tell us your complaints. We'll tell you for free Dr. Wallach's health recovery protocols. We'll even let you purchase the supplements at the wholesale price, and you can recover your health. And or for $10, you can join our cause. You can join us and become a member of our army, become a member of our coalition. And we will show you how to spread our word of health recovery through medical nutrition far and wide, because it's easy to do. We will teach you an easy method to show what we're up to your friends and family. And then you help your friends and family recover their health, and we're going to pay you. Every army needs to be paid. We will pay you handsomely to help us spread our message of health recovery through medical nutrition. Because that's the other thing. This is the other reason that Longevity was formed, to save America. Because the middle class is disappearing. If we don't watch out, there's going to be a handful of rich people and a whole bunch of poor people pretty soon. And corporate America's job is to cut their overhead, to pay you as little as they possibly can. That's their job. That's why they're outsourcing jobs overseas. You know, they can pay a Vietnamese worker $2 an hour. Why pay you $32 an hour? They're going to outsource. They're going to pay you as little as they possibly can. Well, with our business, we're going to pay you as much as we possibly can. And when you bring people into the fold who, like yourself, want to do the business, want to make some money, it's your job to make them rich. It's your job to increase their salary, not decrease it. This is the best kept secret in the business world I've ever seen. Guess how much it costs to join our cause? $10. It's $10. Join our grassroots coalition of the informed for $10, ladies and gentlemen. Become a member of FDI Longevity. Let us show you the wisdom of medical nutrition. Stick with us. You're going to hear testimonials that'll break your heart. And this is the only reason that we exist. You know, in the wonderful world of medicine, if there's a totem pole of medicine, you got every other medical practitioner, every other medical profession on that totem pole. You've got the MDs and the osteopaths and the chiropractors and the homeopaths and the herbalists and the nutritionists, and then you've got the ground, and then you've got 50 feet of mud, and then you've got the naturopaths. That's where we are. And yet we survive. Not only do we survive, but we prosper. Dr. Wallach's company, FDI Longevity, is the most rapidly growing networked business in the United States. We're breaking all kinds of records every month. Why? Because Dr. Wallach's therapeutics work. You don't know what you're missing, ladies and gentlemen. Go to fireyourmdnow.com. Check us out. Join us. Send us your questions. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and until we meet again, I remain your steadfast advocate for health. As it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, you are the last best hope your friends and family and church members have for a healthy, wealthy, and long life. Join our cause, find out what we're doing, and save America. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. See you tomorrow.